Hey everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play series here on the Royale MC server. This is Boomer. Welcome to episode 3. Today, we're going to get some serious work done around the base. We're hanging out in the basement right now, and this is what I want to work on and try to finish up today, is to get the floor designs put in place, to get the tower floor designs done, and hopefully start working on the towers. We've gotten a lot of work done on here already. Let's kind of swing around. You can see, if you haven't been watching recently, this is everything that's been done. We've got our ceiling in. I'm still getting I'm not 100% in love with it yet, but I'm getting used to it. We've got our wall designs, I think came out really nice, but the floor's got to be done and it's got to look good. So I've started with the calcite pattern that you see out here in the middle. I'm going to try to get down safely here without taking too much damage. All right. Now, this center area is going to have its own unique pattern, as is each one of these sections in between the calcite piles. Now, you don't see a mob spawning here on Towny. We're playing on a Towny server, in case you weren't aware, that you actually have the ability to shut mobs off in chunks. So I only have mobs spawning in those 4 chunks that make up the Guardian farm. Problem is they spawn down here, so I had to light that area up very heavy to make sure I didn't get mob spawning. I'm going to, normally I wear a glow helmet, which would keep, all of this extremely bright all the time. But I want to set it up so that if all mob spawning were turned on, mobs won't spawn, but it still looks good. So that's what we're going to get into. So we have 3 different blocks we're going to use for this. We're going to use some deep slate tile, we're going to use some shroom light, and polished deep slate. The pattern that we've worked here, with the exception of the green and the orange being the 2 accent colors, everything else has been off of white, gray, or black, and I kind of like how it's blending in. I'm not convinced on the frame of the Guardian farm here, and I guess I'm going to have to wait and see what this looks like when it's in place. That bottom floor, I'm not swapping out a 3rd time. Okay, it is what it is. It's going to stay. It might stay as an accent, and I might change the posts out to something else. We'll see what this looks like when it's done, but I'll tell you what, let's get it done. Wow, well, we are done. We finally have this entire floor all set and ready to go, and I love it. I think this came out great. I think the color blend was awesome. These were definitely the right bricks. I did test, hopefully you saw this in that time lapse, I actually did test trying to do a slightly different pattern where instead of doing the three kind of like the chevron arrows coming out of the wall, I only had, for the most part, that and then the left and rights, and I really didn't like it. And so I quickly changed it back right in the middle of all that. But this came out great. And I'm starting to warm up to the ceiling a little bit more. I still don't think it's quite right. So I'd love your suggestions or ideas if there's another block that should be up there, if there's something we can do to make it less busy. I think, like I said, it came out really good. Now, you're seeing this the way you are simply because I have a glowing helmet on. If I take it out to look at it in vanilla, this looks even cooler down here. But then the ceiling stands out even more. So the ceiling definitely needs some work. So I'd really love to hear, though, any suggestions or ideas you have, if a certain black should be removed, if a certain color should be swapped out, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. So we've got most of this done down here. Now the thing that we need to do is continue this extension. So these walls and the ceiling, we're going to kind of continue this pattern all the way to each of the 8 towers. Now I haven't quite figured out what I want to do yet in here for each one of these. And I guess first and foremost, I want to kind of start on a wall, start on the ceiling, and see what kind of pattern it gives us, right? So if we kind of inject this out of here, or eject this out of here, and we go, let's see, something like that. We get the stone. Actually, I did the stone already. I had to get a little bit of each in my inventory here. Andesite, polished andesite. Okay, great. So if we continue, oh yeah, that looks better. Come on. There we are. And andesite. Okay. So what I need to do is just continue to move along this pace and replace all these out. And then what we're going to do from there is we'll kind of look at that other floor and see, hey, is there a better option here? You know, what other ways can we work on those tower floors so that they look nice? So I'm going to get to work on this and see what we come up with. And in the meantime, you guys have fun. I'll be right back. I finished the first side, and I really like this. I think this came out great. This continuation of the outer wall pattern here that we've got in the main hall, continuing and running it back looks good. Let me get the other side done in the ceiling, and we'll be right back to show you what it looks like. All right, so we got the first chamber done. I definitely like the walls. I think they came out great. I'm not 100% convinced on the ceiling yet. And, you know, you got to almost avoid something that has unforgiving lines, you know, like right now, planks, deep slate tile, polished deep slate, because they're going to go down at this angle, right? They're going to go straight line going this way, or they're going to go straight line going that way. And the last thing you want on a tunnel that mainly goes, for example, north, are blocks that face east and west. That will totally distract from the build and make it not flow. Now, it's possible if the deep slate tiles were to go north and south in this case, it might work, but it's still going to seem a little bit odd because it's at an angle. So I went with cobbled deep slate instead to give it a little bit of a different look, because this is more of a pattern than it is a straight line, right? When you look at cobble, there isn't really any lines. It's actually, if anything, the diagonal lines almost fit in with this. I'm still not sure about the glass. The glass might come out. I want to just take a look at it without it here really quick and see. Yeah, you know what? I think the glass needs to come out. It's a little bit brighter, and it looks just a little bit like there's an actual fixture there. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw some glow lichen over it or something just to give it a little bit different look to it, to muffle it just a tiny bit, but not, you know, alter it. So that's one down. 7 to go. All right, well, we've finished up all the hallways. We've got all 8 of them done. Walls, ceilings, floors are good to go. We actually have a floor pattern for all 8 of these towers that lead out to the outer part. And I'm going to just kind of finish the last one here with you. This has been an incredibly long project. This has been over a week. I've had to work on this between work and the live streams on Saturday mornings, other videos and stuff and projects. So it's taken me a little bit longer than I was really hoping it would have. But we're going to finish this and show you quickly as to where we're at, because I really want to get started on some bigger projects for advancing Slime Fun, advancing the server, but really focusing on the survival aspects of a lot of this as well. Like I said at the beginning, I really want this to be something fun, unique, and different. Not just focusing on Slime Fun. I think over the last, I look back at some of my builds from when I first started playing, and oh gosh, they were horrible in comparison. And so I'd like to think I'm getting a little bit better at this. I mean, I still have a ways to go. I'm definitely not good at interior design, like houses and stuff like that. I most definitely need more practice. But I want to continue challenging and pushing myself to get better in all aspects of building, not just, big mega bases, which is what I tend to focus on public servers, because, well, that's just what I do. So all 8 of these kind of have the same pattern for now. We might change some up just to indicate what room we're in. I had to make sure we had these lit enough so that mobs would not spawn. All of our rooms are just like this. Well, they're not exact. They might have slightly different placement. They're all random on the walls to keep the pattern nice and even. Oh, apparently I did have one more room. I thought I had them all done. Mixed torches. I probably should have had them all renamed Mixed Torches, because Mick, one of the builders here, laid down helping me to make sure we didn't get attacked. Somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 2.7 million torches. Think about all those trees and coal. Oh my gosh. Well, all right, I guess we'll finish this last one up then. I'm glad I came in here. I honestly thought I had all of them done, but I guess not. So let's see. Do I have... Yeah, I got some cobble in here. We can just fill that in. Whoops. Where are we in calcite? Oh, we need some more. Let's go grab another stack of calcite real fast. Blackstone would look good. All right, so now the key is going to be to find out which one was that, right? Let's see. Right over here. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like how that turned out. I like the sunken in lights like that. I think that gives it a nice depth to it. I think I'm probably going to go with that. But when this is done, I want to go back to the main hall, get one more big picture look, and then we'll go up real quick. We'll talk about Slime Fun, and then we will wrap this episode up, I believe. So again, just using some deep slate tiles as the accent here. Kind of keeping with the theme of the main hall, right? I realize we've got to transition into the tower, but all these tower blocks are, for the most part, in contact with the ocean. So you could easily say, well, over a period of time, the salt water in the ocean kind of eroded these tiles a little bit and left us with a whole different pattern of block, and that's kind of what I'm going to go with. I think that's not unreasonable to expect some wear and tear on blocks that have been in salt water for a long period of time, right? Very doable, very possible. All right, now just a little bit, whoops, a little bit to go. But I'm really liking this pattern. I think we've got a good blend of blocks, very bold, aggressive, with the black, the grays. I think everything in here is just coming out nicely. Oops, mending together really good. I'm still not 100% convinced about the ceiling in the other room, but maybe in time I will be. We'll just take a few more of these. We need just a handful of tiles. There we go. And last but not least, the polished deep slate. This looks really good. I really like this. So all 8 of these are now the same. All the tunnels are the same. Now I can actually say that everything is good to go. So coming into this room, the grandeur of this room really hits me. I just walked in and go, wow, this is pretty awesome. The Guardian Temple in the middle of it, kind of, or the farm seems a little bit like, wow, okay, hi, look at me. But other than that, I think it's a really good mix. I think it's a nice pattern and randomization of all the stone up top. So down here, we're just going to figure out, I think what's going to happen is Slime Fun will eventually find its way down here. And each one of those tunnels could become additional farms for whatever purposes, whether they're vanilla farms or Slime Fun farms. But let's go up here, and of course it just has to be raining. We've got a decent slime farm setup going. We've got 30-ish smelteries running. Oh boy, this rain is horrible. Oh, and I can't stop it. All I can do is make it go from night to day with a bed pet. We've got a lot of gravel generators from SMG to get us going. We've got some soul sand, some glass. We've got infinity expansion going. We've got the mob sim chamber. Wow. I was trying to get wither skeleton skulls. Need 192 of them for the wither sim card. So that's great to see. I need to do some cleaning out there. I'm out of power, so everything is stopped. Let's get out of this rain here. That's kind of a little bit too much. All right. So I guess, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it was raining. I'm going to go ahead and get this out to you as quickly as we can, hopefully to be ready for tomorrow morning. But I'm really, really happy with the progress on this base, the way this looks. This just, to me, I've done a number of different large projects, base projects like this, with very detailed and intricate patterns. And this one, to me, I think I love the best. It's just, I think I've been able to up the game a little bit. I want to continue to up the game. So I'd love to hear feedback, comments, suggestions from everybody. What else can we do? But for now, let's wrap this up. Let's get going. And as always, when you're playing Slime Fun in Minecraft, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.